Hello everyone, welcome to my channel NCRT Adhyaya. So I hope all are doing well, हाँ. पढ़ाई लिखाई अच्छे से हो रही है आप सबकी और प्लीज़ आप लोग सारे वीडियोस देखिए और जो जो इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ें बताई हैं उस पर भी फोकस करिए. आज हम लोग जो टॉपिक स्टार्ट करने जा रहे हैं मतलब नेक्स्ट चैप्टर स्टार्ट करने जा रहे हैं वो एक्सक्रीटरी प्रोडक्ट एंड देयर एलिमिनेशन है. चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं. Animals accumulate ammonia, urea, uric acid, carbon dioxide, water and ions like sodium ion, potassium ion, chloride ion, phosphate and sulfate, etc. either by metabolic activities or by other means like excess ingestion. These substances have to be removed totally or partially. In this chapter, you will learn the mechanism of elimination of these substances with special emphasis on common nitrogenous waste. Ammonia, urea, and uric acid are the major form of nitrogenous waste excreted by the animals. Ammonia is the most toxic form and require large amount of water for its elimination, whereas uric acid being the least toxic. Uric acid कैसा होता है? Least toxic होता है and can be removed with the minimum loss of water. The process of excreting ammonia is ammonotelism. Many bony fishes, aquatic amphibians, and aquatic insects are ammonotelic in nature. Ammonia, as it's radially soluble, is generally excreted by diffusion across body surfaces or through gill surfaces in fish as ammonium ion. Kidneys do not play any significant role in its removal. Terrestrial adaptation necessitated the production of lesser toxic nitrogenous waste like urea and uric acid for conservation of water. Mammals, many terrestrial amphibians and marine fishes mainly excrete urea and are called ureotelic animals. Animals produced ammonia produced by metabolism is converted into urea in the liver of these animals and released into the blood, which is filtered and excreted out by the kidneys. Some amount of urea may be retained in the kidney matrix of some of these animals to maintain a desired osmolarity. Reptile, birds, and land snails and insects excrete nitrogenous waste as uric acid in the form of pellet or paste with a minimum loss of water and are called uricotelic animals. A survey of animal kingdom presents a variety of excretory structures. In most of the invertebrates, these structures are simple tubular forms, whereas vertebrates have complex tubular organs called kidney. Some of these structures are mentioned here. Protonephridia or flame cells are the excretory structure in platyhelminth flatworms, example Planaria, rotifers, some annelids, and the cephalochordate Amphioxus. Protonephridia are primarily concerned with ionic and fluid volume regulation, that is osmoregulation. Nephridia are the tubular excretory structure of earthworm and other annelids. Nephridia help to remove nitrogenous waste and maintain a fluid and ionic balance. Malpighian tubule are the excretory structure of most of insects, including cockroaches. Malpighian tubule help in the removal of nitrogenous waste and osmoregulation. Antennal glands or green gland perform the excretory function in crustaceans like prawns. Human excretory system. In humans, the excretory system consists of a pair of kidney, a pair of ureters, a urinary bladder, and a urethra. Kidney are reddish-brown bean-shaped structure situated between the level of last thoracic and third lumbar vertebrae, close to the dorsal inner wall of the abdominal cavity. Each kidney of an adult human measures 10 to 12 cm in length, 5 to 7 cm in width, 2 to 3 cm in thickness, with an average weight of 120 to 170 gram. Towards the center of the inner concave surface of the kidney is a notch called hilum, through which ureter, blood vessels, and nerves enter. Inner to the hilum is a broad funnel-shaped space called the renal pelvis, with projection called calyces. The outer layer of kidney is a tough capsule. Inside the kidney there are two zones, an outer cortex and an inner medulla. The medulla is divided into few conical masses, medullary pyramid, projecting into the calyces. यहाँ पे जो फिगर 19.1 है यहाँ पे पूरा डायग्राम दिया हुआ है. एड्रिनल ग्लैंड है, रीनल आर्टरी, रीनल वेन, किडनी. ठीक है, ये डायग्राम भी एक बार देख लेना. The cortex extends in between the medullary pyramids as renal column called column of Burgini. Each kidney has nearly 1 million complex tubular structure called nephron, which are the functional unit. Each nephron has two parts, the glomerulus and the renal tubule. Glomerulus is a tuft of capillaries formed by the afferent arteriole. Afferent arteriole is a fine branch of renal artery. Blood from the glomerulus is carried away by an efferent arteriole. The renal tubule begins with a double-walled cup-like structure called Bowman's capsule, which encloses the glomerulus. Glomerulus, along with Bowman's capsule, is called Malpighian body or renal corpuscle. The tubule continues further to form a highly coiled network, PCT. PCT is proximal convoluted tubule. तो ये सब तो पढ़ना ही है, तो इम्पोर्टेंट है ही, पता है कितने पार्ट होते हैं उसमें, ग्लोमेरुलर रीनल ट्यूब्यूल, ये भी इम्पोर्टेंट है. फिगर 19.2 इस पर भी क्वेश्चन आते हैं, 19.3 पे भी क्वेश्चन आते हैं, कितने पार्ट्स होते हैं, और इसका पूरा मतलब डीप नॉलेज होना इम्पोर्टेंट है, पता होना चाहिए आप लोगों को. A hairpin-shaped Henle's loop is the next part of the tubule, which has a ascending and descending limb. The ascending limb continues as another highly coiled tubular region called DCT. The DCTs of many nephron open into a straight tube called collecting duct, many of which converge and open into a renal pelvis through medullary pyramid in the calyces. The Malpighian corpuscle, PCT and DCT of the nephron are situated in the cortical region of the kidney, whereas the loop of Henle dips into the medulla. In majority of the nephrons, the loop of Henle is too short and extends only very little into the medulla. Such nephrons are called cortical nephrons. In some of the nephrons, the loop of Henle is very long and run deep into the medulla. These nephrons are called juxtamedullary nephrons. The efferent arteriole emerging from the glomerulus forms a fine capillary network around the renal tubule called the peritubular capillaries. A minute vessel of this network runs parallel to the Henle's loop, forming a U-shaped vasa recta. Vasa recta is absent or highly reduced in cortical nephrons. फिगर 19.4 इस पर भी क्वेश्चन आता है, ठीक है, तो फिगर सारे देख लेना यार, ये सारी इंपॉर्टेंट है. फिर यूरिन फॉर्मेशन इन्वॉल्व थ्री मेन प्रोसेस, तीन प्रोसेस आते हैं, ग्लोमुलर फिल्ट्रेशन, रीएब्जॉर्प्शन, सिक्रीशन, GFR. तो एक तरह से ग्लोमुलर फिल्ट्रेशन, रीएब्जॉर्प्शन और सिक्रीशन, ठीक है. यहाँ पे अब दैट टेक्स प्लेस इन डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ द नेफ्रॉन. द फर्स्ट स्टेप इन यूरिन फॉर्मेशन, पहला स्टेप क्या होता है, फिल्ट्रेशन ऑफ ब्लड विच इज कैरीड आउट बाय द ग्लोमेरुलस एंड इज कॉल्ड ग्लोमुलर फिल्ट्रेशन. On an average, 1100 to 1200 ml of blood is filtered by the kidney per minute. Per minute 1100 से 1200 per minute हो रहा है, which constitute roughly 1/5 of the blood pumped out by each ventricle of the heart in a minute. ठीक है. The glomerular capillary blood pressure causes filtration of blood layer through तीन लेयर होती हैं, endothelium of glomerular blood vessels, epithelium of Bowman's capsule, and a basement membrane. Between these two layers, the epithelial cells of Bowman's capsule, called podocytes, are arranged in an intricate manner so as to leave some minute spaces called filtration slit or slit pores. Blood is filtered so finely through these membranes that almost all the constituents of the plasma, except the protein, pass into the lumen of the Bowman's capsule. Therefore, it is considered as a process of ultrafiltration. The amount of filtrate formed by the kidney per minute is called GFR. GFR is glomerular filtration rate. GFR in a healthy individual is approximately 125 ml per minute. That is 180 liter per day. The kidney have built-in mechanism for the regulation of GFR. One such efficient mechanism is carried out by JGA, juxtaglomerular apparatus. JGA is a special sensitive region formed by the cellular modifications in the DCT, distal convoluted tubule, and the afferent arteriole at the location of their contact. यहाँ पे कॉन्टैक्ट होता है वहाँ पे बनता है JGA apparatus। ठीक है, किसका कॉन्टैक्ट? DCT और एफरेंट आर्टीरियोल का। A fall in GFR can activate the GG cells to release renin। अगर GFR कम होगा तो renin का रिलीज करेंगे, which can stimulate the glomerular blood flow and thereby the GFR back to normal, और GFR नॉर्मल पर आ जाएगा। A comparison of the volume of the filtrate formed per day, 180 liter per day, with that of the urine released is 1.5 liter, ठीक है, suggests that nearly 99% of the filtrate has to be reabsorbed by the renal tubule. This process is called reabsorption। ठीक है, तो ये डेटा भी होना चाहिए, कितना reabsorption होता है, कितना filtrate बना होगा और कितना absorb हो गया होगा। The tubular epithelial cells in different segments of the nephron perform this either by active or passive mechanism. For example, substances like glucose, amino acids, sodium ion, etc. in the filtrate are reabsorbed actively, whereas the nitrogenous waste are absorbed by passive transport. तो नाइट्रोजनस वेस्ट कैसे एब्जॉर्ब होते हैं? पैसिव ट्रांसपोर्ट से एब्जॉर्ब होते हैं, ये भी याद रखना है। रीअब्जॉर्प्शन ऑफ वाटर ऑल्सो अकर पैसिवली इन द इनिशियल सेगमेंट ऑफ द नेफ्रॉन। स्टार्टिंग में होता है किसका? वाटर का रीअब्जॉर्प्शन। ड्यूरिंग यूरिन फॉर्मेशन द ट्यूबुलर सेल secrete substances like H ion, potassium ion and ammonia into the filtrate. Tubular secretion is also an important step in urine formation as it helps in the maintenance of ionic and acidic base balance of body fluids. फंक्शन ऑफ द ट्यूब्यूल्स। अब अलग अलग पार्ट के अलग अलग सब फंक्शन होते हैं। पीसीटी का फंक्शन क्या होता है? प्रॉक्सिमल कॉन्वोल्यूटिक ट्यूब्यूल। पीसीटी इज लाइंड बाय सिंपल क्यूबॉइडल ब्रश बॉर्डर एपिथेलियम which increases the surface area for reabsorption. Nearly all the essential nutrient and 70 to 80% of the electrolyte and water are reabsorbed by this segment. PCT also help in maintain the pH and ionic balance of the body. क्या pH और ionic balance को maintain करता है? By selective secretion of hydrogen ion, ammonia and potassium ion into the filtrate and by absorption of bicarbonate ion from it. Henle's loop। reabsorption is minimum in the ascending limb. ascending limb में बहुत कम होता है। However, this region plays a significant role in the maintenance of high osmolarity of medullary interstitial fluid. The descending limb of loop of Henle is permeable to water but almost impermeable to electrolyte. Electrolyte के लिए impermeable होता है। This concentrates the filtrate as it moves down. The ascending limb is impermeable to water but allow transport of electrolyte actively or passively। ठीक है, ये भी जानना जरूरी है। Therefore, as the concentrated filtrate pass upward, it gets diluted due to the passage of electrolyte to the medullary fluid। ठीक है, क्योंकि इलेक्ट्रोलाइट पास होते रहते हैं। DCT conditional reabsorption of sodium ion and water take place in the segment. DCT is also capable of reabsorption of bicarbonate ion and selective secretion of hydrogen and potassium ion and ammonia to maintain the pH and sodium potassium balance in blood। तो यहाँ पे जितने भी आयन्स हैं, कौन सा आयन कब सिक्रीट हो रहा है, कौन सा आयन कब एब्जॉर्ब हो रहा है, तो ये याद करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। इस पर भी क्वेश्चंस आते ही आते हैं। Next is collecting duct. This long duct extends from the cortex of the kidney to the inner part of the medulla. Large amount of water could be reabsorbed from this region to produce a concentrated urine. This segment allow passage of small amount of urea into the medullary interstitium to keep up the osmolarity. It also play a role in the maintenance of pH and ionic balance of the body by selective secretion of H ion and potassium ions। यहाँ पे फिगर दिया गया है 19.5, ये देख लें, ये भी इम्पोर्टेंट है। और इसमें भी कैसे क्या सिक्रीशन होते हैं ये बताना है। तो इसमें देखो क्या है, हम बता दे रहे क्योंकि ये जल्दी लोगों को समझ में आता नहीं है, इसीलिए हम समझा देते हैं। यहाँ क्या है, सबसे ऊपर पीसीटी है, फिर लूप ऑफ हेनले है, देन डीसीटी है। पीसीटी में किसका किसका सिक्रीशन होता है? पोटेशियम आयन का सिक्रीशन होता है, हाइड्रोजन आयन का, अमोनिया का सिक्रीशन होता है, और बाइकार्बोनेट आयन, NaCl, वाटर और न्यूट्रिएंट्स, इनका एब्जॉर्प्शन होता है। कॉर्टेक्स रीजन है, मेडुला रीजन है। तो अब यहाँ पे ये जो एरो बने, जो ट्यूब की तरफ एरो है यानी उसका सिक्रीशन हो रहा है, और जो ट्यूब के आउटसाइड एरो जा रहा है यानी उनका मतलब इनका रिमूवल हो रहा है बॉडी से। इनका एब्जॉर्प्शन हो रहा है, सॉरी, इनका सिक्रीशन और उनका एब्जॉर्प्शन हो रहा है। अगर किसी की पुरानी एनसीईआरटी है तो उसमें जो पोटेशियम आयन है वो नेक्स्ट दूसरे एब्जॉर्प्शन के साइड होगा, तो उसको कट करके सिक्रीशन के साइड कर लें। नेक्स्ट इज लूप ऑफ हेनले। तो लूप ऑफ हेनले में वाटर का एब्जॉर्प्शन होता है, ठीक है। जैसे जो डिसेंडिंग लूप ऑफ हेनले होता है वो परमिएबल होता है वाटर के लिए परमिएबल होता है, और जो असेंडिंग लूप होता है वो इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स के लिए परमिएबल होता है। तो ये भी याद रखना है, डिसेंडिंग लूप किसके लिए, वाटर के लिए, और असेंडिंग किसके लिए है, इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स के लिए, सोडियम आयन एंड क्लोराइड आयन। फिर आते हैं डीसीटी पे। तो डीसीटी पे अमोनिया का सिक्रीशन होता है, पोटेशियम आयन का सिक्रीशन होता है, और हाइड्रोजन आयन का सिक्रीशन होता है। और एब्जॉर्प्शन किसका किसका होता है, NaCl का एब्जॉर्प्शन, वाटर का एब्जॉर्प्शन, बाइकार्बोनेट का एब्जॉर्प्शन। फिर कलेक्टिंग डक्ट पे आते हैं। तो कलेक्टिंग डक्ट में वाटर का एब्जॉर्प्शन होता है, पोटेशियम आयन और हाइड्रोजन आयन का सिक्रीशन होता है, ठीक है। तो ये चीजें हैं, ये चीजें आपको पता होनी चाहिए, और ये आयंस याद होने चाहिए, किसका कब कहाँ एब्जॉर्प्शन हो रहा है और कहाँ पे सिक्रीशन हो रहा है। नेक्स्ट इज मैकेनिज्म ऑफ कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ऑफ द फिल्ट्रेट। फिल्ट्रेट को कॉन्सेंट्रेट कैसे करें। Mammals have the ability to produce a concentrated urine. The Henle's loop and vasa recta play a significant role in this. दो रोल प्ले करते हैं Henle loop and vasa recta. The flow of filtrate in the two limbs of the loop of Henle is in opposite direction and thus forms a counter current. The flow of blood through the two limbs of vasa recta is also in a counter current pattern. The proximity between the Henle's loop and vasa recta, as well as the counter current in them, help in maintaining and increasing osmolarity towards the inner medullary interstitium, that is from 300 milliosmol in the cortex to about 1200 milliosmol in the inner medulla. तो ये भी याद रखना है 300 कहाँ है और 1200 कहाँ है. This gradient is mainly caused by NaCl and urea. NaCl is transported by the ascending limb of loop of Henle, ठीक है, पता ही है, ट्रांसपोर्टेड होता है असेंडिंग लिम्ब ऑफ लूप ऑफ हेनले विच इज एक्सचेंज्ड विद द डिसेंडिंग लिम्ब ऑफ वासा रेक्टा. जो असेंडिंग से हो रहा है उसको डिसेंडिंग से एक्सचेंज करेंगे. NaCl is returned to the interstitium by the ascending portion of the vasa recta. Similarly, small amount of urea enter the thin segment of the ascending limb of Henle's loop, which is transported back to the interstitium by the collecting tubule. The above described transport of substances facilitated by the special arrangement of Henle's loop and vasa recta is called counter current mechanism. This mechanism help to maintain a concentration gradient. अब यहाँ पे क्या है, नीचे पूरा फिगर दिया हुआ है 19.6 में, ये फिगर देख लेना, और कौन सा कॉर्टेक्स रीजन है, कौन सा मेडुला रीजन है, आउटर मेडुला क्या है, इनर मेडुला क्या है, ये भी देखना होता है. The medullary interstitium. Presence of such interstitial gradient help in an easy passage of water from the collecting tubule, thereby concentrating the filtrate. Human kidney can produce urine nearly 4 times concentrated than the initial filtrate form. तो कितने टाइम concentrate करती है, 4 times. तो ये भी important है. Regulation of kidney function. क्वेश्चन आता है 4 टाइम्स का, तो याद रखना. द फंक्शन ऑफ द किडनी is efficiently monitored and regulated by hormonal feedback mechanism involving the hypothalamus, JGA, and a certain extent the heart. Osmoreceptors in the body are activated by changes in blood volume, body fluid volume, and ionic concentration. An excessive loss of fluid from the body can activate these receptors, which stimulate the hypothalamus to release antidiuretic hormone और vasopressin. तो ADH को क्या कहते हैं, vasopressin कहते हैं, from the neurohypophysis. ADH facilitate water reabsorption from later part of the tubule, thereby preventing diuresis. An increase in body fluid volume can switch off the osmoreceptors and suppress the ADH release to complete the feedback. ADH can also affect the kidney function by its constrictory effect on blood vessels. This causes an increase in blood pressure. An increase in blood pressure can increase the glomerular blood flow and thereby the GFR. तो ये याद होना चाहिए, ओके. The JGA plays a complex regulatory role. A fall in glomerular blood flow, glomerular blood pressure, GFR can activate the JG cell to release renin, RENIN. और जो डाइजेशन में पढ़ा था वो अलग रेनिन था, यहाँ पे RENIN वाला रेनिन है, which convert angiotensinogen in blood to angiotensin 1 and further to angiotensin 2. तो ये RENIN करता है, और RENIN वो डबल एन था, यहाँ पे सिंगल एन है, ठीक है। एंजियोटेंसिन 2 बीइंग अ पावरफुल वैसोकॉन्स्ट्रिक्टर, तो क्या है, वैसोकॉन्स्ट्रिक्टर है, इंक्रीजेस द ग्लोमेरुलर ब्लड प्रेशर एंड देयरबाय जीएफआर. एंजियोटेंसिन 2 also activate the adrenal cortex to release aldosterone. Aldosterone causes reabsorption of sodium and water from the distal part of the tubule. This also leads to an increase in blood pressure and GFR. This complex mechanism is generally known as renin-angiotensin mechanism. An increase in blood flow to the atria of the heart can cause the release of atrial natriuretic factor. ANF can also cause vasodilation, means dilation of blood vessels, and thereby decrease the blood pressure. ANF mechanism therefore act as a check on renin-angiotensin mechanism. ठीक है, तो ये कैसे वर्क करता है? नेक्स्ट इज मिक्चुरेशन. यूरिन formed by the nephron is ultimately carried to the urinary bladder where it is stored till a voluntary signal given by the CNS. This signal is initiated by stretching of the urinary bladder as it gets filled with urine. In response, the stretch receptors on the walls of the bladder send signal to the CNS. The CNS passes on motor message to initiate the contraction of smooth muscles of the bladder and stimulate and simultaneous relaxation of the urethral sphincter, causing the release of urine. The process of release of urine is called micturition, and the neural mechanism causing it is called the micturition reflex. An adult human excretes on an average 1 to 1.5 liter of urine per day. The urine formed is a light yellow colored watery fluid which is slightly acidic. ठीक है, pH कितना होता है 6 and has a characteristic odor. On an average 25 to 30 gram of urea is excreted out per day. Various conditions can affect the characteristics of urine. Analysis of urine help in clinical diagnosis of many metabolic disorders as well as malfunctioning of the kidney. For example, presence of glucose is glycosuria, ketone bodies, ketonuria in urine are indicative of diabetes mellitus. Role of other organs in excretion. बाकी organs का क्या role होता है? Other than the kidney, lungs, liver and skin also help in the elimination of excretory waste. ठीक है? Our lung remove large amount of CO2, approximately 200 ml per minute, and also significant quantity of water every day. Liver, the largest gland in our body, excrete bile containing substances like bilirubin, biliverdin, cholesterol, degraded steroid hormones, vitamins and drugs. Most of these substances ultimately pass out along with digestive waste. The sweat and the sebaceous gland in the skin can eliminate certain substances through their secretion. Sweat produced by the sweat gland is a watery fluid containing NaCl, small amount of urea, lactic acid, etc. Though the primary function of sweat is to facilitate a cooling effect on the body surface, it also helps in the removal of some of the waste mentioned above. Sebaceous gland eliminates certain substances like sterol, hydrocarbon, and waxes through sebum. This secretion provides a protective oily covering for the skin. Do you know that small amount of nitrogenous waste could be eliminated through saliva too? Next is disorders. Malfunctioning of kidney can lead to accumulation of urea in blood. That condition is called uremia, which is highly harmful and may lead to kidney failure. In such patient, urea can be removed by a process called hemodialysis. डायलिसिस होती है ना किडनी के केसेस में. ड्यूरिंग द प्रोसेस ऑफ हीमोडायलिसिस द ब्लड drained from a convenient artery is pumped into the dialyzing unit called artificial kidney. Blood drained from the convenient artery is pumped into the dialyzing unit after adding an anticoagulant like heparin. हेपेरिन क्या होता है? एक एंटीकोगुलेंट होता है, उसको ऐड करते हैं तब डालते हैं. The unit contains a coiled cellophane tube surrounded by a fluid, that is dialyzing fluid, having the same composition as the plasma except the nitrogenous waste. The porous cellophane membrane of the tube allow the passage of molecule based on the concentration gradient. ठीक है, मूव करते हैं. As nitrogenous waste are absent in the dialyzing fluid, the substance freely move out, thereby clearing the blood. The cleared blood is pumped back to the body through a vein after adding antiheparin to it. This method is a boon for thousands of uremic patients all over the world. Kidney transplantation is the ultimate method in the correction of acute renal failure, that is kidney failure. A functioning kidney is used in transplantation from a donor, preferably a close relative, to minimize its chances of rejection by the immune system of the host. Modern clinical procedures have increased the success rate of such a complicated technique. Renal calculi, stone या insoluble mass of crystallized salt oxalate formed within the kidney, glomerulonephritis, that is inflammation of glomeruli of kidney. चैप्टर ओवर. इसमें भी समरी में ऐसा कुछ है नहीं जो बाहर से डिस्कस किया जाए, तो आप लोग बस अच्छे से पढ़ाई करिए. नीट इज़ वेरी वेरी नियर, और अच्छे से पढ़ाई करो. और प्लीज़ आपको अगर अच्छा लगा हो तो हमारे वीडियो को लाइक करिए, शेयर करिए, सब्सक्राइब करिए हमारे चैनल को. थैंक यू सो मच.